Today is an interesting video. Welcome to the land of the origin.
Damaris.
Oh,
What
my
land
God.
of origin here? In this cold, you're dying in your jackets. And you're talking about land of origin?
Okay.
Come on. You want to teach people how to come by a bus? And you know the reality that you don't have money for a flight
can you
ticket?
stop?
Come on, girl.
Can
you
you
can
go?
do better. Please. Teach us how to take those flights, how to go to the island, and
We
all
don't know
those
everything.
stuff.
Or at least be clear, you can't deal with this travel world anymore. Tell us the truth.
My God.
Stop it. Guys, she knows nothing about traveling. And that's why now she has decided to declare herself the degree, the holder of traveling with a bus. How low?
Please stop. Please
Girl, even if you're telling me to stop, I believe you can do better.
Okay.
Find solutions. Get
Stop.
money. Don't teach us how to use the bus.
Stop.
Come on. Please. And you sit down here listening to this lady teaching you how to come all the way for a whole 1,200 kilometers using a bus. Do you know how tiring that can be? Please, click off. All jokes aside, allow me to get into how to travel using a bus all the way from Nairobi to Addis Ababa or Addis Ababa to Nairobi. And yes, it's slightly cold here in Ethiopia because it's still in the sort of cold season. Not very cold, just cloudy. And yeah, if you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get straight into it. This video, you're gonna learn some of the things that you need to know to prepare you for that journey, to get you ready. So let's get into it. First, the distance between Addis Ababa to Nairobi is 1,166.77 kilometers long. So they say if you take a direct vehicle, just drive continuous with no stop, it's gonna take you 24 hours for you to get to your destination. So that should give you an idea of how long or how far the distance is. Talking the truth, yeah, it's a bit tiring. But if you don't mind the distance, the tiresome and the long distance, and you enjoy road trip, it's gonna be fun and amazing for you. So one major concern that many people have about using the border or using the land is the safety issues. And I have to say, it's pretty safe. I never encountered anything in relation to safety, and so many checks on the way, so that means that security has been improved. I also have to say that the land border had been closed for the longest time due to COVID, and also due to the conflict that is going on in the Tigray region. I'm so glad that once I heard the border has been opened, I was like, oops, I'm hopping on that, because I love road trips. I enjoy road trips as much as I enjoy taking flights, don't get me wrong. Yeah, so here we are. The border is opened currently as of 2021 October, and yeah, for anyone who needed that. One more thing that I have to highlight in relation to all this journey is your preparation. Please, despite how much luggage you're going to carry, make sure you have a bag that is easy to close and easy to open, because so many checks are going to be happening on the road, and they need to have an easy way to access your luggage. So make sure you have not filled your luggage such that you can't close it after, because you're gonna see trouble. And talking about this, I experienced this once where my zip tripped off, if something like that. And yeah, it's not funny when all your luggage is just flying all over. I also have to say, be cautious about all the luggage that you might need that needs to be taxed. Make sure you don't have like a lot of new things, because at the border they are very keen if you're bringing in goods for business and stuff like that. Just so you may know. Some of the requirements that you will need at the border definitely is your passport and your COVID results, and visa if you're not Kenyan. So apparently Ethiopia is visa free for two countries, Kenya and Djibouti. Kenya for 3 months, not sure about Djibouti, but for any other people they need a visa. Not sure if you can obtain your visa at the border, so make your research about that in advance. But yeah, for me, I never needed a visa, so my passport and my COVID. Let me actually also give you guys a COVID hack for those who are in Nairobi or in Kenya, because someone also shared this with me. You can go to Camry very early in the morning and you can receive a free PCR COVID test. Hack on that. Thank you so much, Bonita Traveler, for sharing with me this hack. I can get free COVID test. If you are not able to wake up very early in the morning, you can also visit Afya Test and get your COVID test at $35, which I think is pretty affordable. Yeah, so also if you come to the border with no COVID test, there's no place to test for COVID, but You can talk your way out. If you're vaccinated, they will help you out and you will be tested in their own form, just so you know. Anyway, it's good to come prepared. So now that we have our passport ready and we have our COVID test ready, the next thing you need to know about, also, did I mention the COVID test must be valid within 72 hours? Yeah, so yeah. So now we go to the bus. If you're coming from Nairobi, you have to drive all the way to Eastleigh, and highly advisable that you go there one day before your travel so you're able to book your bus affordably. So people are gonna ask me, what is the best bus to use? You can use Moyale Liner or you can use Moyale Star Bus. I used Moyale Star Bus, also called Moyale Raha. At this point, I have to tell you guys, I highly recommend that you use seat number 3A. You can only get it if you arrive early to go and do your booking. Seat number 3A, the reason why I love that seat, you can incline to the farthest end because there's nobody behind you, because that's where the door is, and you can have a good sleep for the whole journey. And if you're coming from Addis, you go get your bus. I think there are two buses. There's Oda and there's Salam that can take you from Addis Ababa all the way to Moyale. All these hours I'm gonna break down with you in a few. So now we have everything ticked. We have our passport, we have our COVID, we have our bus ticket. It's the day of traveling. So most buses that are leaving Nairobi, they travel at night. So currently times changes, and that's why I keep telling you guys it's best if you book your bus the previous day so you're sure on what time your buses are gonna be leaving, departing. So in this case, they were departing at 7 p.m. slightly at night, and you have to be there by 7 p.m. because they depart at like 7:10, you know, so you don't have to risk. You cannot afford to risk unless you're going to miss your bus. Yeah, so and the journey was swift. It's gonna take a whole more than 8 hours because we arrived at Moyale at 8 a.m. Also, talking about stops, I remember we stopped severally, I think 3 times. The only time I remember is what the stop at Moya, because that's where I stopped to go take a short break. After that, never stopped again. But traveling at night is good because you sleep in the bus, wake up in the morning, and you can continue with your business. Yeah, so by 8 a.m. you are in Moyale. Okay, suppose you're coming from Addis Ababa to Moyale, Ethiopia side. Suppose I haven't also mentioned, both border side are called Moyale, Kenya and Moyale, Ethiopia. So if you're coming from Addis to Nairobi, you book your bus, you depart your bus very early in the morning, I think 4 a.m. and you're gonna arrive at Moyale slightly dark time, so you have to find a place to sleep. Also, those coming from the Kenyan side, it is highly advisable because you arrived in the morning, you go to your immigration office, do your clearing, and cross over and sleep on the Ethiopian side. And at the Ethiopia side, you can find so many affordable places to sleep. You can take a boda boda or a bajaji, tricycle or motorcycle, and ask those people to take you to a place of accommodation. Pretty affordable, I would say from 150 bir, 250 bir. You can get a decent place for the night, as that is not a touristic place, though you can still see the difference in culture between these two countries, which I think is fascinating. So at the border point, you will find 2 houses. The first house is for the person who is traveling to Kenya, and the other one is for those who are traveling to Ethiopia. So at the immigration, depending on what side you're going to or you're coming from, you have to exit whatever country. Then for you to be able to enter to the next country, you have to give a reason why you're visiting that country. You also have to have a destination or an address of the place that you're going to, your yellow fever card, and okay, sorry, I forgot about yellow fever card when I was talking about the things that you require as you travel. All of a sudden, immigration officers can just look at you and desire to ask you for your yellow fever card. So make sure you still have it. Always have it wherever in your travel documents, you know, because you never know at what point they are going to ask you for your yellow fever card. Anyway, once you have all those details, your why, if someone is hosting you or you're going to visit a relative or a friend, have their destination, have their maybe home address. Just make sure you have home address to the place you're going or evidence of the people you're visiting. If you say you're visiting a friend or a relative from your country, they might ask you for work permit for the person who's living there, but just have your way negotiating over with the immigration officer, and you're gonna get your passport stamped like mine was for 3 months here in Ethiopia. Then from there, cross over to Ethiopia. For this point, I have to say this is a disclaimer because it's almost a mistake that I did. Always when your passport is stamped, check where was your passport stamped, and how many days were you given in that destination or in that country, because some countries they stamp and they write for you how many days you're allowed in that country despite of you having your 3 months. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, so it's very important for you to be able to check that. So immediately you have crossed the border. I love the diversity and the unity, and I don't know how to explain it, how different life is at the border, like the Kenyan side and the Ethiopian side. Like once you can see how different life is and still how similar life is at the same time. So once you've crossed over to Ethiopia side, first things first, get a SIM card. You can also exchange money at the border. I do not recommend. And you can also get, you should also get your bus ticket to your destination inside Ethiopia. So for me in that case it was Hawassa, or if for you, you can be in Addis. There are buses, just make sure you cross over as early as possible so that you're able to book your bus on time, because I don't want you to be sleeping at the border for more than 2 days. You know, it could happen if the bus is already fully booked. From the Ethiopia side, you book your bus, book Selam bus or order bus. Then the buses leave very early in the morning. This is another case where you have to make sure you keep time. You wake up very early because the bus leave at 4 a.m. Now you might ask, Damaris, who is gonna take me from my place of accommodation to the bus? This is why you have to be smart. You have to organize a motorcycle with someone with a motorcycle, because you're not driving, and they will be able to pick you up in the morning, because if you don't do this organization, you're gonna be left by the bus. Yeah, so then from there the bus is gonna leave around 4:10, 4:20, and then time changes. You're in a new country. Of course, time changes, people say time differently. So here in Ethiopia, you have to be careful when they tell you like 4 a.m. They could say 10, if I'm not wrong. I'm yet to master how we say time here. Yeah, but you get what I mean. So from there, you head all the way. The buses stop, so many stops. So this is my advice to anyone who is not Ethiopian, so that I can get you heads up with all the things that happen in this bus. One, expect a lot of stops. From very short distances, you're gonna stop and everyone is gonna be alighting out of the bus. So make sure you also follow the people as they go out. But if people notice you can't hear Amharic, they're gonna explain to you whatever is happening and you follow suit. Another one interesting part is not your bus, because this bus, you will find more people waiting for the bus outside. So if you did not notice what was the number of your bus, you're gonna be left by your bus, and you don't want such things happening to you. So second thing is, here in Ethiopia, lunch is taken seriously, and so once it's around 1 p.m., the bus is gonna stop at some place and people are gonna alight and go and get food to eat. So what you're gonna do is, one, you can interact with people and they'll tell you what you can order, because I'm supposing you do not know what to eat, but make it an adventure that you're going to enjoy as you go along. But for me, I was coming to Hawassa, so I made it to Hawassa at around 4 p.m., which I think it's pretty early to be able to find your place of accommodation or to connect with your friends or family that you're coming to visit. Then from there, for those who are going through to Addis, actually I have to say they don't necessarily come to Hawassa. They have their own direct way to go to Addis Ababa, arrive at 6 p.m. and still I think you have time enough to do your things and stuff like that. So can we get to the favorite asked questions? I give you answers? Okay, let's do this. I have to say this video was inspired by you guys, because I have received a lot of questions concerning this journey, and that is why I am here with your favorite asked questions, so that in case we left out anything, we have the answers, right? Question number 1, is there a direct bus from Nairobi to Addis? There is no direct bus from Nairobi to Addis as of the filming of this video. But so also someone asked, is there a direct bus from Moyale to Addis? Yes. Direct bus from Moyale to Nairobi? Yes. Do I need a visa? As a Kenyan, you don't need a visa to come to Ethiopia. Yeah. Do I need COVID test? Mentioned this. Yes, you do need a PCR COVID certificate. So you have to do your COVID test. Do I need to quarantine on arrival? Actually, no, you do not need to quarantine on arrival if your COVID result is negative. So you just proceed on with your business. No quarantine issues. How much do I need for this trip from Addis to Nairobi? Okay, let me give you a short breakdown. Mathematics in 1, 2, 3, 5 seconds. $20 from Nairobi to Moyale. From Moyale to Addis, another $20. Accommodation in Moyale, $10. Depending on your PCR test, it can be 0 all the way to $100. So in total, assuming your PCR is 0, you need not less than $50 to make it to Addis Ababa or Nairobi, depending on whatever direction you're taking. So I would say, to be on the safe side in terms of transportation, you need close to $100. Yeah. How long or how many hours does it take from Nairobi to Addis Ababa? For this one, I have to say it takes close to 2 days. Yeah, not less than 2 days. Just schedule out your 2 days, including the days you're doing all your planning and bus booking and your PCR test. It comes up to like 3 days. And you ask me, what about flight ticket? I'm just gonna do it in 1 day. Yeah, kinda, depending on where you do your PCR. And remember, the reason why you do the road is you gotta save your shillings. Because I tried to check booking, I tried to check the cheapest flight to take to come to Addis Ababa, and it was close to $400. And taking the bus is $100. So because I have the time and not the money, back to the introduction, Damaris. Yeah. Last question. Can I proceed to Mombasa from Nairobi, and how can I do it? That's a nice one. Actually, if you're coming from Addis Ababa and you want to go all the way to Mombasa, that is such an amazing trip. It will be so long though, but thank God right now there is SGR that takes you to Mombasa. So once you arrive in Nairobi, please make sure you have booked your train earlier. That is my advice. Take the train. It will save you more time being on the road. It will take you like 4 hours or 5 hours on the road. And the good thing with the SGR Mombasa is that in Nairobi they started traveling during the day and at night. So depending on what time you're gonna arrive, just plan accordingly. Book your train, and once you arrive in Nairobi, just take an Uber all the way to SGR terminus, take your bus and proceed all the way to Mombasa. Guys, I hope this video was informative, helpful. Welcome to anyone who's feeling like they are scared of this journey. I did it, so scary. Just slept so many hours sleeping in the bus. I love it. I can't complain. Yeah, and anyway, I have done so many road trips, right? You guys already know that by now, but if you want to sponsor me, you're an airline watching this video, I still enjoy taking flights. I love them. Easy, good, sufficient, efficient, all those good things. And I wish you a safe journey as you come to whichever of these 2 places that we've talked about in this video. And I hope you liked it and you have subscribed. Until next time, guys, can we call this a video? Always remember to create time for that which ignites your soul. Until next time, peace. Bye for now.